Hello, how are you? Melinda here. Well, I've been around and about, and I haven't had time to post another video. But I want to talk about something very important. If you've noticed all the shootings and things that have gone horribly wrong in the world right now, the weather, tornadoes, everything is happening at one time. You can't recover because time one thing happens, the next hour or so, another thing happens that's even worse. So, before the brain can get back together, it is something else you have to think about. Well, right now, what I'm studying is the hybrid solar eclipse that is about to come around on April 20th. It is a very unique eclipse, and it doesn't happen often. But when I told you about the blue comet in February, since that comet has come, everything has gone wrong and everything is intensified. The shootings, the weather, there's nothing that hasn't been affected. Factories burning, this dairy has toxic chemicals destroying a lot of the world that we know. There have been so many things that have gone wrong since that blue comet passed over the earth. I will bet you all I know that that cosmic happening, you see, that blue comet only comes every 50,000 years. Isn't that amazing? It only happens every 50,000 years. And we should count ourselves fortunate to be living in the 50,000 year that it comes. It won't, the other people won't see it again for 50,000 years. So think about it. We're special. Our race is special. The universe is very special. It's magic. Like I try to tell you, magic. Everybody is magical, but they do not pay attention to themselves. They are so consumed with too many other out of the body things. But that is about to change. If you paid any attention, you'll see that everybody is talking about magic now. Everybody is talking about magic. And that's because the world is flipping, going from one to the next, from one extreme to the next. Magic used to be an everyday occurrence in the world. But as people became so sophisticated and educated, they forgot the magic. I wrote a book called Merit Magic, as you can see. It's talking about how I grew up in a magical world. I never really thought about I was magical because the people, the women I knew and who trained me were magical. I thought everybody was that way, really. I remember as a child, I would see people and I would just blurt out stuff that I saw. I read energy really good. So as a child, I didn't know when to speak and when not to speak. And my mother was a very social lady. She had gatherings all the time. She loved to entertain. My father was a wealthy black man who owned a grocery store, not just a little mom and pop store. It was a big store. So she always had stuff that she could throw a party at any moment. So I was always around people. And sometimes I used to blurt out stuff to them that I would see about them. My mother would say, "Oh, please, don't do that. Don't do that, Melinda. They would think you crazy. I don't want them to think that. They don't understand. Just don't say. So when people just don't say nothing to them. Don't blurt out stuff. So I said, okay, Mom. So the next social event came, and I was standing near where my mother always set us or whatever. And people would pass by and they would speak, and I didn't say anything. And they would say, hey, Melinda, and I just wouldn't say nothing. I didn't even open my mouth. And Mother said, well, you know that I don't want you to see. She had told me, I don't want them to think you crazy. Because if you just blurt out stuff to them, they don't understand like I understand. So I was like, I'm not going to talk because I don't want them to think I'm crazy. And guess what? The lady said, well, she must be crazy. I spoke to her 2 times. So she is probably crazy. And I just looked at my mother. I said, well, dog, Mother, they know anyway. I didn't have to say nothing, and they still called me crazy. She just fell out laughing. She said, baby, we're going to have to talk about that. But in any event, my life was really good. And for people who do tarot card reading, I just did this reading that's on the books. I do what they call a cosmic spread. I'll explain that at some point. This is a cosmic spread about me. And it's so interesting. It's saying exactly what I thought. And it's saying exactly what I'm trying to do. And one of the things I'm trying to do is to get people to see the importance of their magic. The world is going so chaotic. You're going to need that to survive. You're going to need to be able to become very magical to survive this madness that's about to occur. And one of the things I want you to think about is that we all are born with it, especially black women. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I do know about black women because I am one. I grew up with black women who were magical and know how to do stuff. Like I say in my book, Merit Magic. If you want to get it, hit me up. My email is merit, MEME 12 @gmail.com. MERRITTMEME 12 @gmail.com. And I can send you a signed copy of it, and it only costs $10. But if you go to Amazon, it's much more. It's much more expensive. So if you hit me up, I'll send you a copy. But in any event, I want the people to get magical again. I want people to wake up and realize their magic is there. All they have to do is focus on it and realize it's there. That's half the battle there. But if you read the book, you might can help yourself with that. Well, that's all for now. Thank you.